First, after 3 people died at a retreat in Sedona, the so-called guru who led them in the deadly sweat lodge ceremony is back in business, and that is where we begin tonight. The empire of James Arthur Ray was growing at an astounding pace in 2009 as he shot to fame and fortune with thousands of followers.
He made international headlines after 3 people died and 18 others were injured at a retreat up in Sedona. He went to prison, but he's back in business now. Brianna Whitney's been investigating for the True Crime Arizona podcast. Boy, this was a massive case at the time.
It was, and Jared is on the podcast. We interview you in this because you covered this 13 years ago. This is really a crazy case. James Arthur Ray was a superstar at that time. I mean, we're talking starring in a big movie, making appearances on Oprah and Larry King Live. Everyone wanted to achieve what he called harmonic wealth, to live their best and most fulfilling life. But the pinnacle of all events he held, called Spiritual Warrior in Sedona, would end in death and complete tragedy. Yet here we are in 2022, and James Ray is still very much practicing and profiting. Here's what you'll hear on this season of True Crime Arizona, the Sedona Sweat Lodge deaths.
When you align with the laws of the universe and use them in your favor, then you really can create whatever you desire and deserve.
He has a very kind of folksy way about him that I think definitely draws people in.
I learned the secret of creating harmonic wealth in my life. That's a life that is wealthy and abundant in all key areas: financial, relational, mental, physical, and spiritual.
The drive was 100% about the money. He wanted to have the biggest, baddest events that would draw the most people.
I was surprised to see how much people would pay for this kind of experience. $9,000, $10,000 for 5 days.
Did you ever go to a spiritual warrior event?
Yes, we did. We were there in 2007 in the Sweat Lodge, and of course we had many of our friends in 2008 and 2009. What I saw already in 2007 alarmed me.
Those were all things that now, looking back, those are really red flags of someone who is deliberately creating compliance through suggestibility.
He promised many times that he would take care of us. He said many times in all years that you may think you're going to die, but you're not.
This is all unfolding right then, and people needed help. Was 2 years enough for 3 lives? You know, you tell me.
Okay, what's the problem?
2 people not breathing. With no pulse. Sweat lodge.
A sweat lodge?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. You there by yourself?
No, there's a lot of people here.
We really dive into what unfolded that day and night in Sedona. We analyze other odd occurrences that surrounded James Ray. And what he's doing now, well, let's say this event and prison time did not stop him from continuing to profit off his practices. The first episode of our new season just dropped, called The Guru. You can listen to True Crime Arizona, the Sedona Sweat Lodge deaths, wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And make sure to follow and subscribe as we spend the next couple months investigating this case. Jared, Yetta?